Welcome back to the Hootcast, the podcast where we talk about everything from esports, gaming, and education to all the random bits in between. I'm Leah, and today we're diving into really important topics: social media safety. Whether you're a gamer streaming to your community, a student scrolling through TikTok, or just someone keeping up with the latest online trends, knowing how to stay safe on social media is more important than ever. And joining me today is Kieran.
Hello there.
Hello. And we're going to break down the do's, the don'ts, and everything you need to know about social media.
Right, so yeah, we're looking at social media today. So it's great to be here for a new season of The Hoot.
Yeah.
Obviously, the first topic, social media, is very important, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very, very important. And you know, one of the first topics we're going to dive into today is the risks of social media and all of that. What do you think about the risks on social media?
I think a lot of problem now is you got a lot of oversharing.
Yeah.
I think oversharing is a massive problem with social media. People sharing where they've been on holidays or what games they're playing, where they live and things like that. So
yeah, I've noticed that there's a lot of people who have moved house or had some big achievement, and the first thing they do is post online. Actually, I now know where they live because I've seen their house, So I think it's something that not many people are considering as a risk. I think they're trying to share a big achievement among friends when actually they may not know everyone that follows them online.
Yeah, I think a problem with oversharing as well is the potential problem of scams then.
Of course, yeah.
Where once someone gets to know about you, we've got your profile photo, your bio, where you went to school and all this. Basically, they then create a duplicate version of you and start pretending to be you.
Yeah. Didn't you say that you had a couple of friends on social media who had fake accounts made because they've had their accounts almost like copied?
Yeah, on Facebook, I had a couple of people who had created accounts and they said, "Oh, follow me." And again, hold on, I follow you already. So it was a case of, and they weren't acting as if they were friends. They were again, the wording they were using was very weird, not like my friends. So it's a case of keeping an eye out really on, how would your friends communicate with you, and it's very robotic almost.
Yeah.
Very AI.
I get that. And also I think just to jump on one point as well, your friends. So one of the things you can do if you think it is a scam is alert the person, not through Facebook, but through maybe another social media channel or however you communicate with them on a day-to-day, just to let them know their account's been copied. And you can report these things to Facebook, Instagram, and they should be able to remove the fake account.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you do accept them as a friend, then they're inside your friend list, and then it just gets worse and worse. So
absolutely,
they'll start targeting other friends then.
Yeah.
So they're trying to break down that wall. So you've got to make sure your defense is up, and the best defense is you.
Yeah.
And making sure you don't get them any chance of getting past you.
Of course, yeah. I absolutely agree. Yeah, 100%.
I think staying safe is a massive part really of social media. I think looking at privacy settings.
Yes.
I think people don't realize privacy settings are a major part of social media. I got my friends, but then people who view from outside my network, they can't see all my topics, all my content I'm posting.
Yeah, I think that's really important as well, is actually checking your settings, because when you set up an account, great, you set it up, but actually, have you looked at your privacy? Is your account private? Is your content only visible to your friend list? And having things like that in place, well, it puts your defences up on social media and then prevents, or at least lessens the risk of those scammers then getting to you and your content. Absolutely, yeah.
And it goes back to not oversharing.
Oh, yeah,
it's a case of going back. It's the same thing, making sure that you don't overshare. You make sure you show what you want to show, and to the people that you want to show to, the friends, but no one outside your network.
Yeah.
I think a very important thing is safety. Obviously, is making sure you've got strong passwords.
Yes.
I think Leah, you said there was a good bit of advice for strong passwords.
So always sort of include like a capital letter, and a number, we're always encouraged to do that. But also a special character, something like a question mark, an asterisk, an underscore, something that makes your password a little bit different, so that it's not just harder to guess, but also you know where that underscore or asterisk sits. No one else does. So having those in your password can really help to strengthen them. And changing your passwords regularly, that's something you do, isn't it? You change your passwords.
I pretty much change it every month or so. But if you find that you've been targeted by a scammer or phishing, you should change it immediately and make sure you try not to use any sort of thing that's related to you. So avoid your name, avoid your date of birth, because that's the first thing they will look at using. Like I said, you want to try and make it as difficult as possible for people to get into your social media profiles.
We've just mentioned the word phishing there. I think we need to explain what that means. Did you want to do that?
Yeah, so it's not the case of you go fishing for
fish.
It's fishing with a PH. So basically, what you'll get a lot of is, say that you're with Facebook or Instagram and you've said that you've got your password, reset your password. Phishing is where you have a fake website or a fake account trying to get hold of your password. So it'll look 100% genuine, but when you start typing your contact details, or even worse, your bank details, they will get your information.
So I guess a piece of advice then would be, don't click the links in your email, and be careful. Ask yourself, why am I clicking this link? Is there a reason that I need to go through this link to get the deal or whatever it is that they're trying to send you to their website for?
Yeah, it's a case of, you have to think of, have they actually sent me an email, or check the email address. You look for the padlock. Just again, look for spelling mistakes. That's a good way to find out as well. The language might not always flow. So you've got to be very careful.
Of course.
Things like that. Moving to a broader topic again, obviously balancing of using social media, using it too much. What advice would you say there, Leah, about controlling how much you use social media?
Yeah, of course. Social media, we see it all the time now. People are constantly on their phones, constantly looking at Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It's very common. One piece of advice I would give is, you can put screen timers on your phone, so you can actually cap how many hours, minutes you spend on social media, and that's really useful. Go outside and actually look outside, not go outside and stare at your phone. That's a piece of advice I got from you.
Yeah, I think they should, what with social media sites, they want to keep you on as long as possible.
Of course, yeah.
So if like a TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, they've got unlimited reels where you can just keep scrolling up and down. You could be there for hours, really. So it's a case of you've got to make sure to set yourself a time, like you said, having a screen time, because otherwise you're going to be there and you'll be addicted to the content they show.
I think as well, like not looking at your phone as soon as you wake up in the morning, or before you go to bed in the night, that's something that a lot of people have fallen into the habit of doing, using TikTok to go to sleep, and they're just scrolling aimlessly, doom scrolling. But I think as well, it's a mix of that fear of missing out, that fear that they're going to miss out on content or on something really important.
Yeah, you mentioned about fear of missing out, and it was in the news this morning about young people using social media for the news. One issue with that is fake news.
Of course,
so it's a case of getting your news from a respectable news outlet. So whether the BBC or ITV news channels, you don't always trust of everything what they tell you on social media. So you've got to check where you get your information from.
Yeah, and if you do see something on social media, something that I usually do is, if I see something on social media and I think that's a really important bit of news I need to know, I'll often double check with the BBC, ITV, so that I'm going, this is true, this is happening. It's not a case of somebody's made an AI video, or I'm just sharing it because they can, essentially.
Yeah, I think a lot of the problems now as well is AI, artificial intelligence coming in, and the number of videos I've seen over the past week, and it looks incredible. Some of the footage I've seen, and the only way I could tell it was AI is because it said made with AI, but it looks so genuine now.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. I mean, it's catching lots of people out, and us included. We're not, we try to be as safe as we can with social media, but there are times where we'll see something and go, "What is that real?" And I think we like to question it, or how have they done that is the other one. So yeah, making sure you are looking at genuine news online and actually following those channels of BBC, ITV is going to be really, really super important.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, as well as fake news, obviously, is fake profiles, fake images.
Yeah.
So things like filters is a problem as well. Instagram's known for this. It's a case of a lot of people see people on social media and think, I want to be like them, but it's not accurate. It's been photoshopped, it's been edited. So
I used to like to say they probably don't look like their photos on Instagram because they've been so heavily filtered, changed, edited that they end up looking like somebody completely different, and that's not right either. We all look the way we look, so yeah, then there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely, so be your authentic self on social media.
And it's a case of what you post. You got to be very careful with what you post, obviously. Looking at the whole thing, social media is a great thing, but also can be a very dangerous place. So making sure what you post, and you mentioned something earlier about when you do go for jobs and so on, employers will look at your socials.
Yeah, I've had it before where people have said, also, we can't find you on social media or your account's private, but there's been other situations where people have gone for jobs, and because of what they've been posting on social media or the opinions that they've shared, they then have failed to get the job or have been, let go because of certain things that they've put on their personal social media accounts.
Yeah, it's a case of not just the content posting, but what you type really as well. It's a case of, obviously we have moments of where we're angry and so on, and we'll just type something. It's a case of just got to step back and think, right, if I say this out loud, it's going to sound awful. You've got to do the same thing when you're typing. Take a step back, thinking, if I type this, what are the consequences? It's a case of, you had a lot of people getting into trouble now because I'm getting arrested for the posts that they do.
Yeah, I think especially we've seen it with, there's TV shows where they'll target certain people. It's not nice. It's horrible for them to see, and it's horrible to write. So yeah, actually, if somebody found out that you were posting such negative comments, what would your friends think? What would your family think? How would you be portrayed in their eyes if they knew what you were typing online?
So yeah, looking at a lot of topics on social media, obviously there's a lot to cover, and obviously the main thing is use it for the best reasons. Obviously there's a lot of dangers out there, but it's a case of just being sensible.
Oh yeah.
If you would give any advice, Leah, what would you give people? Just the top tips.
Top tips. One of my top tips would definitely be to check your social media settings. Go into your Instagram settings, have a look. Are they all private? Make sure your TikTok accounts are private, and also check your followers. Are you following people you know? Are people following you? You know them, yeah. So making sure that I'm not saying you have to know absolutely everyone personally, but the accounts are verified if they're celebrity accounts, or that if you follow somebody, are your friends also following them as well, and just making sure that you try and keep your friend network as linked as you possibly can. Yeah. Do you have any top tips?
Yeah, it's a case of, I think it goes back to the balance of, not overusing social media where you're missing out on what's happening out there. You want to have a balance of life as well as content and so on. So it's a case of you've got to have, and it's difficult because it gets into a habit, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You just got to start small, and there's so many different social media sites out there. It's a case of having a balance of knowing how long you've been on there, and then having a chat with family, friends, because it does affect a lot of mental health issues come from it.
Yeah, and I think especially, there is a lot of mental health around it, and that's not something that should be ignored or taken lightly. But with the social media sites that we know about, we can do what we can. And, I say, well, TikTok's big now. What's going to be the next big thing? So there's going to be a social media site that overtakes TikTok. We just don't know what that is yet.
Yeah.
But when that comes out, we need to check our privacy settings. We need to check that we know the people on the site. We just need to stick really to the top tips that we've mentioned today.
So yeah, just a lot of things we covered there. Hope you've enjoyed listening to what we've said. A lot of good advice from us both. If you have any questions, feel free to message us on our socials. But yeah, this is the first episode of the Hoot for this year. We'll be doing a lot more content over the next few months. Hope you've enjoyed. But from me and Leah, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you. See you soon.